ויסר המלך את טבתו מעל ידו, ויתנה להמן.
אשר הוא יהודי, וירא המן.
את המן.
איך יראות המן.
בני המן.
גידל המלך אשוורוש את המן.
Lights! Sorry. Camera! Drinking! Action! Action!
Get along, little Yidden. It's your indigestion and none of my own. We'll have a show they cannot beat tonight.
Piece. I can put it anywhere. What? Where's my royal scepter? Hello, this is the king.
Honey, it's Esther.
Yes, don't yell at me.
I'm not
I'm
yelling.
fine. How are you?
Honey, Marduk is sick.
Oh God, then you'll have to go get him.
Right, you'll have to go get him.
What? No, you got that wrong. You'll have to go get him.
Honey, I have a full schedule of very stirred people. I want you to go pick
people?
him up.
Where? Oh my God, not another plot.
Honey, I want you to go pick him up.
What?
I want you to go pick him up.
I'm doing something very important here.
Honey,
I
can't.
know that. You know that the concubine he likes, the one that looks like the fertility goddess, only she only has two.
Honey,
with the
I
fertility
don't
goddess.
want a concubine picking him up. My patient is coming into
Don't
it.
yell.
Goodbye.
Don't. What? Oh my God.
Oh, what a terrible morning. There isn't one cheerful ray. It's just the normal beginning of a two-career family day. My husband's an excellent daddy, an involved and affectionate daddy. But when Marduk's sick, why does he expect me always to cope with the emergency?
Yochados, Eino Neso, Dayo Mashki, the Tobre, no Marlon, Dayon, Morakamonai, Asher Shomu, Estivaram
Dina, all day long. I hear it from my brothers. It's like having 12 Jewish mothers. Dina, don't be so flirtatious. These local Philistines are really creepinacious. Dina, don't go out with Gentiles. They have too much on their genitals.
Now, what can I do for you?
I have a problem in getting people to take me seriously. An incredible credibility problem.
What makes you think that?
Well, whenever I speak, people nearly choke on their laughter. And I often hear comments such as, "That guy's a nut, put him away, and the man's bonkers." They frequently accompany such comments with a gesture in which they move an index finger in a circular motion opposite the right temple.
I see. Do you have any idea why people react this way?
Well, I eat parchment. I lie on the ground, motionless for months at a time. And I describe to my audience a vision of God, which I have seen. God speaks to me.
Oh, I see. Do you drink, Mr. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask your name.
Oh yes, I'm called Ezekiel Ben Boozy.
Boozy. So you do drink?
No, my father was boozy.
Oh, then your father drank.
No.
What about your mother?
No, he never drank my mother. She died of natural causes.
Naturally, Well, you say you've seen God. Tell me more about that.
Oh yes, well, just one moment while I assemble my backup group. I was walking by the Chabur Canal one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. 4 creatures from the sky were gliding down, and when they reached me, they sang in Dolby sound. They were 4 cherubim. They each had 4 panim, an ox, a lion, an eagle, and a man. They were 4 cherubim. Their wings stuck together and they flapped to a beat. They could only drive forward. They had circular feet. When they touched down, I saw them move into park, but I had always thought that they belonged on the ark. They were 4 cherubim. They each had 4 panim, an ox, an eagle, a lion, and a man. They were 4 cherubim.
I wonder how much you'll sue for.
I wonder how much the lawyers will charge.
But who'll marry the king?
Haven't you heard there's going to be a beauty contest?
A beauty contest?
La-di-da-di, we like to party. We don't cause trouble, we don't bother nobody. We're just some mishpoche who rock the West. And we'll rock that haven in your interest.
Remember, if you don't contribute, if you write an itty-bitty little check or 2 or 3, I know how to turn a buck around. The beef might not be kosher, but the futures, they are sound. Not a trace of paper will be found. We can all be wealthy men.
Well, as the king's personal eunuch, I have... Be still, you beating heart. I dreamt I dwelt in marble halls with fluted columns ionic, and then fist clenched like wrecking balls. I smashed them with strength bionic.
Shave and a haircut by Susan.
Your royal shrinkness, I've got to see you. I need therapy. Powerful bad.
Sorry, Sam. The first opening I have is for the Fast of Esther. I can see you right after lunch.
Where are Sloanes and Zabars way up high? There's a place that may be our home way up in the sky. Somewhere under the street light, without exaggeration.
Get that.
Our homeless minions meeting in Penn Station.
I developed a weakness for shiksas, a mechanism of self-defense, 'cause all I could offer was muscles. They wouldn't take me into Mensa. In a singles bar, I met Delilah. We spent all night long pitching woo. Hey guys, it was sheer Machaya. Till her shears undid my hairdo. There's a moral to my story. Listen carefully, it's to your gain. If you've got a weakness for shiksas, then weakness is all that remains.
This is enough for now, said Leah of her brood. Instead came insanity when she comes see Judah. Be fruitful and multiply.
On this we don't see eye to eye. In the Harayim, Jacob, the patriarch, drafted two surrogates and recaptured the spark.
Ugabug, ma nishtana ha-situation hazeh mikol they're terrible situations. A palace is a wreck. The roof is full of holes. It's like this. I've spent a very, very, very large part of my life not being a mother. Mind you, I never thought that I wouldn't be a mother, but at my age, it's quite a shock. There's a great deal to get used to. For instance, now I schlep this stupid bag around wherever I go. And I can't do anything anymore. No more hopping down to the Casbah for a nightcap. It's very difficult. Adjusting.
Go on.
Also, people look at me weird. I signed up for natural childbirth classes. And the guy said to me, lady, in your circumstance, the only way you can have a natural childbirth is if you give birth to a 50-year-old man. Do you think it's ecstasy having a kid when you're 103? Do you think it's ecstasy having a kid? Why don't you listen to me? Get out of each challenge that causes you strife. There come things especially good. In this case, it happens that both he and I, we eat the same kind of food. I gotta go now. I think it's time for his feeding. I can feel it.
Bye next week.
Of the Megillah. Everything is gonna be alright. Everyone just needs to squeeze in tight. Everything is gonna be alright. Everyone just needs to squeeze tight.
All women are not created equal.
My father, A.B., he likes the baby. But as for me, he thinks I'm just a maybe. I get so ticked off. I like them picked off. This place has no room for them and me.
No. Well, why did you go?
I'm just a boy who can't say no. I'm in a terrible fix. When my dad said, come on, let's go, I know I should have said nix. When my father woke me up at dawn, I had a thrill of trembling and fear. And I know I should have said to him, dear old father, stick it in your ear. I'm so repressed where dad's concerned. I'm so depressed that I'm sad. It makes me so blinking mad. Why can't I dare to be bad? I can't say no. How I wish I could be more outspoken, less of a token patriarch. I'd like to be more like Samson or Korach or even like Noah. I'd make my mark. But when my dad says the Lord decrees that I may have to die, what can I do when he talks that way? Spit in his eye? Of course I know it's all God's plan, and so I'll stick to his course. But someday I'd love to be boss. I'd be just as tough as the force. I'd just say no.
Bloated bodies. Millions of bloated bodies. All I could see was water and bodies.
When did this happen?
For 40 nights and 40 days it rained. We heard, but we did not believe. And then it was too late.
Could you describe what happened?
Words cannot express. Only one who has seen it can ever know. I was watching. My wife was watching. The chickens were watching. The kangaroos were watching. The chickens were watching.
So what did you do?
What did I do? What could I do? I was silent. My wife was silent. The bloated bodies were silent. Yes, and even God, I am ashamed to say, was silent.
I think I understand.
Understand. How can you begin to understand? How can you imagine that you begin to understand? How can you imagine that you imagine that you begin to understand what has never been seen before? Never think you might have anything to say that could elucidate the meaning of that day. Just give thanks silently because I undertook to express your suffering in my next book. It's not a book about an ordinary flood, but of a kingdom not of day nor night, but mud, and of the terror that came with the earth and silt, far worse than drowning and destruction. It was guilt. This guilt is burnt into my conscience like a brand. There's none who's racked with holy suffering like I am. And could there be someone more qualified than me to bear witness with such grace and modesty? Yes, my silence is a legend in its time. It ranks in popularity with sex and crime. A modesty so awesome no one has yet dared to suggest my sacred suffering could be shared. And now I must go communicate my silence at the 92nd Street Y.
Esther Malka?
Yes.
My name's Ishtar. Ishtar.
Ishtar,
The fertility goddess?
the fertility goddess.
Yeah.
You want therapy?
Yeah, I was referred by H.L. Ginsburg.
We're in the Bible, let's have a high wall. They're gonna read of us in 100,000 years. We're in the Bible, it feels so tribal. We're gonna have a place in Jewish affairs. We're part of Torah, just like Gomorrah. Someday there's gonna be a Rashi on us. We're part of Torah, sure and Gomorrah. We're gonna be translated by Onkelos. We're in the Bible, eyeball for eyeball. And in the end it all comes out okay. We're in the Bible, we've got survival. And our depression has just faded away. We're in Ketuvim, like Shir Hashirim. We're gonna have a place in Jewish affairs. We're in Ketuvim, and every Purim, they're gonna read of us for 100,000 years.
Anything you can pray, I can pray faster. Any day I can pray faster than...
Zorro! A name, not Hebrew, but Parsi. Zorro! Back off and sit on your RC.
Controversial, somatic work.
I want those ruby red Reebok running slippers. My secretary needs them for when she runs arbitrage errands for my insider trading. Give them to me, dearie.
No, I can't give them to you. They're the only jogging shoes allowed on Riverside Drive.
I'll get you yet, my pretty, and your dog, too. I can't touch you here in yuppie puppy land, but just try running north of 110th Street. You'll never find a Minyan just right for you. And ain't that the truth?
Dad, you want me? Are you nuts?
Mommy!
I think I see a squirrel.
Nicht dahin und nicht daher means it's neither here nor there.
Now this should teach all other nations how that they all have baby sensations.
I say Christmas 2 times daily. I say Christmas.
Are you the rabbi?
Oh man, give me a break. I'm a spiritual seeker.
What's that?
I've been looking for salvation all across the nation. Praise day and night. I've been Muslim, I've been Buddhist, I've been Taoist, and a nudist. If I only saw the light. I'm a spiritual seeker in a world that's ever bleaker. How lonely is my plight. I've been silent with the Trappists and been newborn with the Baptists if I only saw the light.
She must be a feminist.
Actually, I guess it was pretty funny.
What kind of feminist are you anyway?
I'm a feminist without balls.
Did you say without balls?
No, I said without balls.
I don't get it. What would you do if you had balls?
I would spend my time out drinking, come in instead of shrinking, like a flower on the walls.
Da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
No more asking, I would demand I'd outbully Betty Friedan if I only had some balls. If some flannel-suited mister tried to harass any sister down through the corporate halls,
Da-dum, ba-dum, da-dum.
like a nuclear torpedo, I would flatten his libido if I only had some balls.
My name is Vashti. I'm here with a story. I'm doing this neither for fame nor for glory, but that Ahasuerus, well, he's done some things, and he isn't one of my favorite kings. I met Mordecai 12 years ago. Oh, so many laughs and tears ago.
Great.
He's a little desperate, short and stout. Here is a sandal, there is a spout. We'll sneak up behind him so he can shout. Just slit his throat and throw him out. So what do you think?
The Ramses Pharmaceutical Corporation would like to remind you not to forget.
We're off to see the rabbi. The rabbi will read us the rules. His insight to our plight will help preempt a fight, for a fight's only fitting for fools. If the Israelite creed is the one that you heed, spots from the wrong will decide. Indeed, 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 indeed. For it's an exemplary life he leads.
At the risk of being tasteless, offensive, and politically incorrect, I just wanted to say that since the civilians killed in the Middle East this week were Lebanese and not Jewish, the Minyan Purim Schpiel did not have to be postponed again.
Equality is well and good if basic rules are understood. Abba likes Nirot Shabbat, Ima lanes Torah a lot. Twinkle, twinkle, Jewish star, Mom and Papa real bizarre.
Hello, big boy. How's every little thing at the palace? Cushy,
Just a moment.
The rabbi must be a woman.
Woman. Woman, you're
Yeah.
pronouncing it wrong. Say it again. Say it again.
Woman.
Woman. You see, you double the M there because it's not, the accent is there, so it's woman. Because you see,
I'm
don't you know?
downstate.
Well, you must be because, I mean, if you knew you're Acadian, then you would know that you don't know Acadian. I bet you don't even know the entire structure of Rabbi Witch mythology, which goes back to the early Sumerian sources. There's a whole literature. It's actually about a boy and his bicycle. It actually goes back to Sumerian. I wrote a book about it. I wrote a whole book, and I actually wrote a review. I wrote a review of the book, and I published the review of the book in my magazine. It's a great magazine called Pretext.
We gotta escape from this place. Yeah, there's a better life for me and you. be to mourn. Tonight, tonight, we'll joke and feast tonight. Haman wishes he'd never been born.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Kim do, Kim do.
That's just my problem. I try to be a Hindu, but now I want to find a Jewish home for me and my friends.
Come in, please, please. Have a glazel tea, a piece cake. I was just studying the great mystical Voik here. Listen, you got maybe Sali Birchupa Schneerson for 2 Yankel de Schmooze Greenberg?
Oh, that's not why we came here. No, no, that's not why we came.
No?
No.
There! Goyim, out Goyim, away! Go back to that Vorlock or voice the 92nd Street vibe.
Oh, Rabbi, we tried that. We were at the 92nd Street Why? Please help us. You're not bad man.
Oh, no, I'm not really a bad man. I'm actually a good man and a good Minyanite. JTS born and bred. I'm just a lousy Rebbe.
Oh, Rabbi, I'm looking for the way, but I can't find the way to the way.
Back at Minyan Maz, where I come from, they don't know the way any better than you do, unless maybe it's out to the hall to talk. But there is one thing they have that you don't have. An autograph. It's an autographed copy of the Jewish catalog. This is written by 3 60s hippies who control their karma the way most people control their bladders.
Oh, just sorry,
Enough.
I am a Jewish man. I'll just mind my bitty bar, sit and loin and live another day.
Off to see the rabbi will give us the rules. Is it time for a fight? Well, I'll bring him to fight for a fight, only fitting for fools. If the Israelite creed is the one that you need, a response from the Russia that's serving your needs. Indeed. For it's an exemplary life he leads. We're off to see the rabbi will read us the rules. Haman's rules, Zeresh do, the crowd may now disperse. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, Megillah. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, it could have been much worse.
That was our Purim Spiel, so it was no big deal. At least it's done. It was a little long. We could have cut a song. Perhaps the language was too strong for the little one. But we brought you the truth, sharp as the serpent's tooth, for you to see the way it really was in the days of